Matt from the beach again on week 9 of fantasy football. I'm finally back. I know I've been off for a couple weeks, but I'm back now. I really love these couple guys for fantasy football. First, Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin, the two wide receivers for Philadelphia, have been the two unsung heroes of the fantasy football season. They've gotten so many passes thrown to them, it's unbelievable. McNabb loves them. And if you got any of these two guys, once again, Maclin or Jackson, pick them up in your league whenever you can. Next one, Jamal Charles. LJ Larry Johnson is out. He's totally not going to play. They're going to either share carries if he finally does play, but chances are Jamal Charles is going to get the majority of the carries, so you never know. He could have a breakout. He could have a breakout year this year, breakout week this week.
Larry's on suspension.
Because since Larry's on suspension,
I didn't just say that either. Go ahead.
Since Larry's on suspension, Jamal Charles, he could have a big breakout week this week. I mean, I saw him play in Texas. He was insanely good. Heck, he should have won a Heisman. So grab these two guys whenever you can.
Now it's my turn. I'm gonna pick, and I'm doing this without even looking at, making sure the camera's on me. I got a couple of picks for this week. Let me see. I got one for the wide receiver, and I got one for the, let's say, tight ends. Okay. If you're playing tight ends and you're in trouble because of the Owen Daniel fiasco, you need to go out and pick up somebody, and there's not many people left in all the leagues because there's so few tight ends. But there's one tight end from Washington that's kind of been that's an underachiever. Everybody thinks so, and he's been overlooked this season. That's Fred Davis. Take a look at Fred Davis and take a look at his stats and see about picking him up from the Washington Redskins. Also, they've been saying that Jason Witten is a good tight end. They've got him ranked ahead of Vernon Davis of the San Francisco 49ers. That's not true. Witten has, his points are nil because Romo's not looking his way this year. So look at Vernon from San Francisco. He's pretty hot. And as far as the wide receivers are concerned, this week in particular, there's a couple of must-haves. One of them is, of course, Marquise Colston. He's going to have a great game. But also, like Matt said, you know, you've got Jeremy Maclin out there, and he's going to be good. But one of them that a lot of people overlook from Chicago, Hester. This guy is definitely overlooked. He's getting a lot of throws, a lot of catches, a lot of fantasy points, but nobody seems to, you know, give him any love. He's out there. He's probably owned by maybe 60-70% of the league, so you might be able to pick him up. So go ahead and pick him up, and that's about it for Week 9. Just also one more thing on Week 9 is the defense, New Orleans defense. New Orleans is playing Carolina, and we all know how Jake Delhomme is, you know, Mr. Interception himself, and New Orleans has been getting a lot of interceptions as it is. So look for New Orleans to pick at least 2 from Delhomme. Look for them to score on at least 1. Look for the New Orleans defense. I think they're ranked 3rd in most leagues, but look for them to get probably, I would say, close to maybe 15 to 20 fantasy points for you. So look for the New Orleans defense. Pick them up if you can. If not, stick with the Steelers defense because they're going to probably have a pretty good time against Denver. And that'll be a good Monday night game, but Pittsburgh's going to roll. One more thing Mattie wants to say before we sign off. So back to Matt, the cat from the beach.
Hey, I got beat from this guy last week. This Dallas Cowboys guy. Half of his team is Dallas Cowboys guys, and he's got Romo on his team. Not to say that it's sucking all, but Romo did so good. He got like 27 fantasy points, and most people are willing to trade for Romo since it's all like, oh, he's so bad in the clutch, not funny, but. Make a trade for the guy if you need a quarterback. You've got like the 40-year-old Brett Favre. He's okay, but sooner or later the games are going to pile up on him. So if you can possibly make a trade, Romo for Favre, go with it. I mean, once you get Romo, he's a little inconsistent, but he doesn't get 5 points. He gets like 15, 27, 14, 26. And he is a really good quarterback. Don't count on him for like 27 points every week, but still he's kind of good. So if you can make a trade for Romo, or if he's somehow on waivers by somebody in your league, pick him up somehow. This is Matt from the Beach. Matt from the Beach, back to you in a second.
Okay, I'll take it back. One quick thing about what Mattie just said there. Matt from the Beach, the fat cat Matt, is that we're talking about. He was just talking about Romo, and he was talking about Brett Favre. I'm a firm believer that Mr. Favre has been playing over his head. He's been playing football. He's been playing that of a 20-year-old. He's been running around like a madman. I think he's personally a game or two away from a season-ending injury. So be careful if you're going to trade for Favre. It might look good, Romo for Favre, because Favre's, in the clutch, he's been doing great. This is like a Pro Bowl season for him, but I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's bumped and bruised right now, and he could go out any week. He could go out for the rest of the season, so keep an eye on that. This is Tom, the Strom Bomb Tom from the Beach, signing off and letting Matt, the fat cat, say one more thing, because he's over there signing me like he wants to say one more thing. It might be something like, don't forget about Romo, but here he goes.
Hey, Brett Favre, he's a 40-year-old guy that has retired, 3, 4 times in like the past 2 years, and I still can't believe I'm hanging on to this. But in the preseason against, I think it was the Cincinnati Bengals, he does a chop block against the guy's legs, just totally kills the guy almost. He tries to just hammer the guy.
Chop block.
He gets the block, but if he ever does that again, I bet you he's never come back from that. He's injured right there, so Favre's a gamble. Romo, a little bit of a gamble too, but if you need just a quarterback for 1 or 2 weeks, Romo is the guy to pick up.
Bye-bye. Till next week. Later.